Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken, and today guys, I am doing a challenge video. Tim Talks Talkies over there on his channel did a video last weekend challenging everybody to come up with their own 4K box set of 5 movies. That was the stipulation. 5 movies, and they all kind of have to do with each other in some way, shape, or form. So that was kind of hard for me, because if it was just a 4K box set, like there's definitely a lot of directions I could have went in. I could have went with some directors that don't have 4Ks, like Fincher or Paul Thomas Anderson, like some 4K box sets of those directors. But I didn't want to just pick out like 5 films from their filmography. So, and then there's also, guys, look, there's also the one that we all want, the one that's on this shirt. You got freaking Freddy, the Freddy box set. Come on now, the 4K Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street box set of all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies in 4K. You know we want that. So since I was tied to just 5, I started to strategize what my picks would be. And I gotta be honest, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm going to cheat a little bit. Tim, I hope you're okay with that. Look, and if you haven't yet subscribed to Tim Talks Talkies channel, definitely I will leave his channel down below in the description. Always comes up with great challenges and community events for the community. So I appreciate Tim over there. But I am going to cheat, and because I just had 2 ideas. I had 2 ideas and I couldn't shake them, and I gotta get them out. So I've got 2 4K box sets that I am going to make here today. But before we get into it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and then comment down below, guys, what are 5 films you would love to see in a 4K box set? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to do my main one first. I'm going to do the one that I want, and I think when I reveal these titles, you're gonna say to yourself, yeah, I want that too. This is what I will call the 90s disaster film box set. Kind of picking all the rest of the 90s disaster films that we have not yet received on 4K, because we just got Deep Impact on 4K. Putting them together in a box set and just throwing them out there because we deserve them, damn it. And I don't care, like, if it's, you know, some of these are Universal, some of these are Warner Brothers, some of these are Disney, you know, the rights be damned. We're going to put all these in a box set together. We're going to put some cool graphics and artwork and stuff all around it, and it's going to be fantastic. And in this box set, guys, think 90s disaster. That's where it's at, guys. We will have Armageddon, the counterpart to Deep Impact, the one that everybody says, this one's so much better than Deep Impact. To me, they're 2 completely different movies. Like, they both have similar themes, obviously, comets, asteroids coming to Earth, but like the way that they're structured, the way that the story's told, they're both completely different. I love them both for completely different reasons, but such a fun movie. The fact that we don't have Michael Bay's, yeah, that's right, guys, Michael Bay's Armageddon on 4K yet is a crime against humanity. Like, that just blows my mind. This movie, think of all the movies that we have on 4K and we don't have Armageddon. That's ridiculous. But guys, Disney, it's owned by Disney. It's a Touchstone movie. Pretty sure it's a Touchstone movie. Let me confirm it. Yes, it is a Touchstone home entertainment picture, and that's owned by Disney. And Disney is responsible. Damn it, Disney. But anyway, look, we're going to rip this away from Disney for a little bit. And we're going to put it in this box set with all these other great disaster films I'm getting ready to talk about. But Armageddon deserves to be on 4K. Like, can anybody give me an excuse as to why this one doesn't deserve to be on 4K? This will look amazing, and it's such a fun movie. You know, from the 90s, 1998 when this came out. Kick-ass, like, soundtrack, Aerosmith, like, one of the best soundtracks, to be honest. Like, I would love to hear this in Atmos, and my goodness, like, Armageddon needs to be on 4K. Like, it's a crime, guys. It's a crime. And also on this box set, of course, Twister. Like, why do we not have Twister on 4K? It's ridiculous. Now, I do think that we will get this one. I feel it. I feel like it's coming soon. Warner Brothers, you know, is responsible for this. It just feels like they would have put this one out already, but they haven't. So Twister, hands down, this is my favorite disaster movie of all time. I adore this movie. I just love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Such a great movie. But Twister needs a 4K, so that'll be in the box set as well. And then we got to talk about Volcano. Like, I love Volcano. Now, is it as good as the other disaster film, Dante's Peak? And I'll go ahead and throw them all out there. The other ones I want in this box set: Volcano, Dante's Peak, and Daylight, because I have it in this, you know, 2-film little collection right here. But I love Volcano. It's a great movie. It's definitely, I don't know, it's not as fun, I don't feel like, as Dante's Peak is, but it's still a really good movie. Tommy Lee Jones, Anne Heche. When I was a kid, I always wanted to watch Dante's Peak instead, but I still enjoyed watching Volcano. And it was more of an outlandish premise with the volcano coming up in the actual city of LA, but it's still something that could possibly happen. Like, it's rooted in actual science. So Volcano would look amazing on 4K. And this doesn't even have a Blu-ray. This is a bootleg Blu-ray. And we're gonna bring some more of those up here in a second too. But this is a bootleg Blu-ray, guys. I'm sorry, I had to show it off. But I love Volcano. I love Dante's Peak as well. Dante's Peak is another one. Universal did this pack right here that needs a 4K. And we have heard rumors for, I believe, all of these except for Volcano, that they would be coming to 4K. So yeah, Dante's Peak would look amazing in 4K, as would Daylight. Like, Daylight, guys, let's talk about Daylight for a second. Super underrated disaster film from the 90s that not enough people talk about. This is one of my favorite Sylvester Stallone movies from 1996. It's about the bomb going off in the Lincoln Tunnel, I believe, underneath the Hudson River in New York City. And a bomb goes off, or I don't think it's a bomb. I think it's like several like containers of like toxic waste or something. And a wreck happens and it explodes, and there's this huge, massive explosion. That's absolutely fantastic. It's such an incredible sequence. And it's about them surviving and getting out alive from this tunnel. But there's some amazing sequences. There's some heartfelt moments. There's some real like moments of emotion in the movie. And I think Sylvester Stallone is absolutely fantastic. Like, he's the guy that's going in. He knows the area like the back of his hand. He goes in to extract all of the survivors that are inside. And just some amazing performances. It's got Danielle Harris in this movie as well. A very young Danielle Harris. I think around the time... well, it would have been around the time. She was a little bit older, obviously, because she did, you know, Halloween in the 80s, and then Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. And then the mid 90s was like Roseanne, and then it was Daylight. And I'm pretty sure she was in some other stuff as well, but she's great in the movie. Great disaster movie, though. If you haven't seen Daylight, regardless of if it gets a 4K or not, definitely check out Daylight. It's fantastic. But yeah, we need all these guys on 4K. So yeah, I'm creating the ultimate 90s disaster 4K box set with Armageddon, Twister, Volcano, Dante's Peak, and Daylight. And, you know, I would love to have Deep Impact in here as well to kind of round it out, but that already has a 4K, so we don't need it. And, you know, I'll just put it right next to this 4K box set, and that'll be my, you know, my 6 favorite disaster movies of all time. I don't love disaster movies post 2000. I'm not a huge fan of the world. What's it called? The World Ends Tomorrow or something? The Day After Tomorrow? Is that what it's called? Greenland was good. The one that came out a couple of years ago with Gerard Butler. But that's my main 4K box set. Now, I want to get into my other dream 4K box set. Now, this one's a little silly. You guys are going to think this is a little silly. And, you know, these movies don't necessarily need to be in 4K, but none of these movies that I'm getting ready to mention even have Blu-ray. So I have all the bootleg Blu-rays for them, all of them but one. So that the fact that none of these have Blu-rays just makes me want to go ahead and jump them into the 4K format, because that's the stipulation of this video, right? And this is what I call the Adam Sandler Buddy Collection, Buddy 4K Collection, the Sandler Buddy Collection, I guess is what I call it. The Sandler Buddy 4K Collection box set, 5-film box set. So I want to do Deuce Bigalow. I want to do Deuce Bigalow in this set. So this is themed all, you know, Adam Sandler's friends, all of his buddies, all of their movies like from the 90s and the 2000s are going to be in this box set. And of course, Rob Schneider is extremely close to Adam Sandler. I just saw Adam Sandler in concert and Rob Schneider was there to kind of open for him, and he came out for a couple other bits, and he's still hilarious. Like, I love Rob Schneider. He's so awesome. And Deuce Bigalow, you know, male gigolo. Again, I covered up European Gigolo. That's not going to be in the box set. You know, the movie was fine, but it was definitely nowhere near as good as Deuce Bigalow, male gigolo. And I actually think that European Gigolo kind of killed off Rob Schneider's career and kind of slowed down his momentum. It just feels like after this one, his career just really went downhill. Like he just went on to, you know, do all the Adam Sandler movies and just be kind of the side character in all those, and just never really got his own movie again. But Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, I feel like this one's really a forgotten like classic because not a lot of people talk about it. At least I don't hear about it come up a lot anymore. But when this came out, like everybody I knew loved it. Everybody I knew talked about it, quoted it. Like it was one of the more quotable movies. Like you know, with the girl with Tourette's, like that was hilarious. That was a hilarious bit. Did you say steak? No, mistake. Like there's just so many, like maybe this is just in my head because I thought it was super quotable. When the tall woman's walking down the street, that's a huge bitch. Just stuff like that. So many like great, you know, iconic scenes, and the girl with Tourette's was hilarious as well. So Jigahoo, I just feel like this was one that everybody talked about when it was out, and it was like super popular. And then over time, like its popularity has just gone away completely. And like nobody talks about Deuce Bigalow when they bring up like great comedies from the 90s or the early 2000s. Not really sure when. I think Deuce Bigalow came out like 98 or 99 or something. Maybe it was 2000, but Rob Schneider had a little run in the late 90s, early 2000s that we'll get into a couple more of his here in a second, but it was just incredible. But I want Deuce Bigalow on 4K, damn it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that's the first one in this box set. And then, of course, you got to follow that up with The Animal. You need The Animal on 4K. Do you really need The Animal on 4K? Probably not. But The Animal is super funny. I think that's, you know, Deuce Bigalow was so great that coming off of that, it was hard to kind of measure up to that. But The Animal was a really good follow-up, and I don't feel like it got the respect it deserved, even when it came out. And I know all of his movies probably got shit on critically, but I really enjoyed The Animal. This was a good one where Rob Schneider kind of almost transforms. It's almost like an American Werewolf in London type story. But it's funny. He can talk to animals. There's several like hilarious bits in it, and it's really good. I need to rewatch The Animal. It's been a while since I've seen it. And then, of course, you got to have the hot chick. I know I said the Sandler Buddies collection, and we'll get to a couple of other of his buddies here in a second, but I got to include a lot of Rob Schneider in this collection because I just love this 1, 2, 3 punch of Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, The Animal, and the hot chick. This one's super hilarious. It's a body swapping movie where Rob Schneider in this, I think it's actually Rachel McAdams that he trades places with, I think, because she's like right there on the cover. This was one of her earlier movies. I believe this was 2002. But they swap places and she becomes him and he becomes her. So he acts like a teenage girl the whole movie. And it's just, again, super hilarious. It's, you know, Rob Schneider was just made for these type of comedic bits and comedy. And I enjoy this one from start to finish. The hot chick's incredible to me. So getting into a couple of his other buddies, I don't have any kind of physical release for this one, but Dickie Roberts, former child star, had David Spade in it. And it was right after he did Joe Dirt, which does have a Blu-ray. So I didn't include Joe Dirt in this collector set because I wanted all movies that didn't have Blu-rays yet. But Dickie Roberts is another one that's super underrated to me. That one was hilarious when it came out, and I don't think it's as good. It's definitely not as iconic as Joe Dirt, but it was one that kind of, you know, flew under the radar. Not enough people talked about when it came out, but I really enjoyed that one. So I'm going to put Dickie Roberts. Did you ever think that I would have chose Dickie Roberts, former child star, to be on 4K in this video? I guarantee you didn't guess that out of me. But yeah, the last one though that I will put in this box set is, of course, Grandma's Boy from 2006. This one doesn't even have a Blu-ray, but again, I got this bootleg Blu-ray. So this has, I always forget his name, but Alan Coverts is in this movie. And he was in like pretty much every one. I don't think he was in Billy Madison, but from Happy Gilmore on, he was the caddy in Happy Gilmore. He was in pretty much every single one of Adam Sandler's movies and still is to this day. But this was his own movie. And I thought that after this one, because he was so good in this movie, like I thought that he did a great job as the comedic lead in this. But he never really got, at least I don't think, he never really got a chance to shine after this movie came out. So, but yeah, really fun. You got Linda Cardellini in this film as well, kind of playing the romantic interest. You got, Nick Swartzen was in this film, and this was one of his, like, I think is one of his like first like standout comedic performances. Jonah Hill, I almost forgot. This was one of Jonah Hill's like first movies, I feel like. I think he was in 40-Year-Old Virgin, and then he was in this and Accepted in the same year, 2006, but I can't quite remember which one came out first. But yeah, this was Jonah Hill, like you can see him right there kind of staring at that woman's chest, but it was a big, you know, Jonah Hill back when he first got started. I know he's lean and mean now, but it's a super fun movie. And if you're a gamer, like if you're into gaming, like this is the movie to watch, because he's a game developer. So it kind of dives into that world as well. And it's kind of a stoner comedy, and it's really a lot of different things. And I enjoy this one. Super hilarious. I haven't seen it in a while, but I need to go back and rewatch this one. So I'll throw this in my 4K box set along with the Hot Chick, the Animal, Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, and Dickie Roberts. You know, that's the Sandman, the Sandler Buddies 4K 5-film collector's box set, and of course my 90s disaster 4K box set. So look, I hope you enjoyed my dream box sets. Obviously, guys, we want Nightmare on Elm Street. I want Ernest. I want an Ernest box set. It doesn't even have to be in 4K, but give me an Ernest box set in 4K. The hell with it. Why can't we get Ernest in 4K as well? But like I said, since I could only pick 5, I went with these picks. But thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, go head over to Tim Talks Chalky's channel, the guy that started this challenge, and go subscribe to him. And I'll see you guys later.